Before my mother passed in 2007, I had made her a promise that I would try to reconcile with my sister if and when something happened to her, because she was always concerned that my sister and I would be fighting. We don't have a great relationship. So I made her this promise. And my mother passed away September of that same year. I made good on the promise not to argue with my sister and to try to mend our relationship. And doing so caused me to move from Virginia to Ohio. Nothing about this move was easy for me. Not only was my entire life in Virginia, including a fiance, but I had middle school aged kids, and they didn't understand why we were uprooting our lives to move to Ohio. After the move and getting settled in, we really did have a very comfortable life. You know, not without without its struggles, but definitely comfortable. And for me, it was quite lonely. As I stated, I left a fiance back in Virginia, and we had, tried really hard to maintain the relationship. I would go see him once or twice a month, just to keep our relationship thriving. And then one day, I received a call from my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, who is a nurse. And she told me that I needed to call my fiance. And when I did, I found out that he had passed away from a pulmonary embolism. And the worst part about it is, the night before, we had argued. And when we hung up the phone, the last words he said were, "I love you." And I didn't respond. So, of course, hearing that news was devastating. And I felt so much guilt and hurt, and I could barely breathe. Getting through the service was extremely difficult, but my best friends were there. And he passed away on April 3rd of 2008, and we were supposed to get married April 27th of 2008. So it was really difficult. And because of the fact that we had argued and the last words he heard from me were silence, I didn't really feel like I deserved to be loved and that I would ever find love. So a little more than a year later, and I got a message on Black Planet. Now, I was not on there for dating purposes, but hey, whatever. But I had written some poetry and posted it in one of the groups, and I got a message that would change my life. The message was from a man who really saw me. And I'm not just talking about like seeing a picture of me, but he really saw my soul. And I know this because of the words that he said in the message. And he was a complete stranger to me. I had no idea who he was. But for 3 years, we communicated with each other via phone, email, and text until finally, December 30th, 2011, he moved to North Carolina, where I was living at the time, because by now I've left Ohio. The relationship with my sister was not salvageable in the way that my mother wanted, but we did manage to create a different relationship that works just fine now. But anyway, in any case, we began to build a life together. And in January of 2013, we got married. And I wish I could say it's been an easy road, but it hasn't. But I can say that it's been worth it. I've learned so much from my husband about love and relationships and about myself. And I've become a better person. I've become a better mother, a better friend, and a better wife because of him. He showed me what love looks like. And for that, I am forever grateful. The song we chose for our wedding day is a song called Forever by Jaheim. And it was almost as if he wrote that song for us. We celebrated our 7th anniversary this year, and our marriage has been an utter joy, and I am happier than I ever knew I could be. And I'm loved, and that's a beautiful thing.